Welcome back to the show. It's a Talkman Radio Show live. And we are live again. It is May 22nd, 2020. And I am broadcasting live from the communist-occupied state of New Jersey. Yes, we are here. We don't know when they're coming. We don't know when they're going to come and get us. But we're here now. And I'd like to thank 12 Ounce Sports. Don't forget to check out 12OunceSportsRadio.com. They have plenty of stuff here. But you can also check out 12 Ounce Sports and Talkman Radio on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all that good stuff. We're on those platforms and Zingo TV channel 761. Here's Talkman Radio. Here's a little taste of my Facebook page. And like I always say, you can always check me out here. Get in touch with me here. And if you have something that you are trying to advertise, T-shirts and things like that, where you're trying to promote something or something that you like that you think maybe I'd like or something, whatever it is, if it's T-shirt related and they are putting out T-shirt things I can wear, I'm wearing this crap right now. You believe I still have to wear this? It is like 6 degrees in my basement. It's freaking May. It's gonna be June. Basement's freezing. Anyway, they didn't tell me that when I bought the house. So don't forget, you can go check us out on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Add us there. And eventually, there we go. 12OunceSportsRadio.com. Here's the homepage. We have CBD products here. We are starting the E-Racing Championship Series. It's on PlayStation, so I might look into that. You might see the Talkman car driving around. I'm going to check that out, see what we got. I might have to go buy the game for that. I think they're doing Gran Turismo. I don't know. But I'll look into that. There's videos on demand. We have articles here. Here's, you can always click for the schedule of all the shows that we have on here. And don't forget the donate button. If you're still working, if things haven't gone sideways for you like they have for a lot of people, consider the donate button. It helps us out. We can get equipment, things like that we need. You don't have to like me. You like any of our content creators they all have their own unique styles and they're all pretty good. So let's go do the rundown. Tonight, we got the top 20 quarterbacks, the list I made. It's preseason. It's going to go up and down. Guys are going to get hurt. Guys are going to start popping in preseason. Like, whoa, I like that guy. Guys are you think they're going to pop, and they don't, like David Montgomery last year. We'll get into that maybe next week or so. I don't feel like talking about that right now. But we're going to get into the top 20 quarterbacks. And you can feel free to tell me I'm full of shit if you like. When I give you my top 25, my top 20, you're probably gonna not like. I can see a couple already. You're not gonna like. You're just not gonna like them. We're also gonna talk about some interesting sports stories that I'll get into. Later. I've got 2 other ones, and if we have time, we're gonna get into some YouTube information. I'm not doing the Mexican beer plague. I'm so sick of it. I'm sick of the state. I tell you every week what the hell's happening here. They're gonna frog march me out of here because I say things against the state. Because eventually, this is gonna be our new theme song. Eventually. It's coming. But for now, we are going to do... First, let's do a sponsor. Let's do a sponsor before we get started in our... oh, look at this. Jazz Sports. Jazz Sports has... Just watch this. It's football. There goes Devin Singletary for like a 2-yard gain. But this is Jazz Sports. If you're looking for something fun, Check it out. Check out Jazz Sportsbook, Casino, and Racebook at Jazz Sports. You can bet almost anything. Live sports, play casino games, horse racing, even E-League sports. You can see right here. Nothing. Third and three. If there's no time, check out Jazz Sports. Use the promo code 12ounce sports. That's 12OZ Sports. And receive 150% deposit bonus. Yes, 150%. Check out Jazz Sports and get ready for lots of opportunities and lots of fun, too. Crazy stuff going on here. All fun now. Promo code 12ounce sports. It's 12OZ Sports for 150% deposit bonus at Jazz Sports. Check it out. Look at that. You can go watch. It's not real football, but it's close enough. And he nailed them. That was Cole Beasley, I think, caught that one for the first down. But maybe we'll do that. One of these days. We'll keep the volume down and we'll put this up. I'll consider it. Maybe. And maybe I'll put out it's football. I almost can't stop watching. Even though that guy was wide open. Okay. All right. Let's Would you rather watch this or my top 20? Who is that? I don't know who that is. Okay. Anyway. So we're going to get into our top 20 fantasy quarterbacks coming into the preseason this year. And I think we all know who number one is, but there is some debate, but I'm going to give you mine. So let's get into it. Sorry guys, we gotta go. Our number one quarterback for fantasy this year is Patrick Mahomes. I mean, I think that's an easy one. I'm going to get some arguments from some Lamar Jackson guys, but I will go into Lamar Jackson as to why he's not number one, but I'll tell you why Mahomes is number one. He comes from an offense that has shown since he's got into, even prior to him getting into this offense, it's an offense that is pretty good. Everybody in there can get points, especially the quarterback. It's a very quarterback-friendly offense that he's in. He's been in for 3 years. Not too many changes. The running back has changed, but that you saw that last year, and you didn't really see a decline in him. He did get hurt, which didn't help, but when he came back, the first couple games he was kind of like, but then they won the freaking Super Bowl. They came back for 24-0 in the playoffs. I think anytime this guy steps on the field, you can get 404 touchdowns out of him. Anytime. He's got the tight end. He's got one of the top tight ends. He's got Tyreek Hill. They're adding guys. They added Hilaire, Clyde Edwards-Hilaire. They still have Damian Williams. They still have Sammy Watkins. They had McCole Hardman last year, who's a year better. They've got guys all over the place. So this guy's your number one quarterback this year. That's it. That's the end of the discussion, in my opinion. You got a problem with it, send it to the Facebook page or send it up your ass. Either way, that's my number one. So we're going to move on to number two. Number two is, I'm calling him he's not really a sleeper, but he's higher than you would think. Maybe. That's Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is your number two. Along with look, and King Kong Bundy and Kamala totally agreed with me on this one. They did. I asked them. Along with Mahomes, the ability to get you massive amounts of yards and massive amounts of touchdowns, which he can. Now, Russell Wilson doesn't really do that as much, not to the level Mahomes does. But what they do have in common is the ability to get yards on the ground. But he gets, and Mahomes does to an extent too. I think last year's injury was an aberration. That was just like a quarterback sneak or something like that, and it just hit his knee, and that knocked him out. It wasn't really a running play where he was scrambling. But whereas Russell Wilson, where his running, his ability to get yards on the ground, he does it very safely. He goes down when somebody's ready. I'm down. I'm done. I'm good. He doesn't try and get extra yards. He goes out of bounds. He goes down. He gets the yards on the ground, and he does get yards on the ground. I'd like that he very, very, very rarely puts himself in danger, which I give him a plus on that one. On top of that, he had a zillion. I mean, he had a lot of yards last year and a lot of touchdowns. That was a lot of that was like the first 10 weeks, 10, 12 weeks, and it kind of faded a little bit. I get that. But now you've got year 2 with DK Metcalf. You still got Lockett out there. Carson's back. I don't think they're getting more. I saw something about Marshawn Lynch. I don't think he's coming back. They still have Penny and Carson. Their offense is basically the same. So I like him as my number 2. I like I said, for those reasons. He's been around. I mean, he's another one, 31 years old. So he's got the experience. He knows how to run the ball. He'll get you the rushing yards, and you don't have to worry about those rushing yards getting him injured, which is huge in my opinion. Running quarterbacks have to know how to run the ball. You can't just run out and then you get hurt. Okay, well, he missed 8 games because he got hurt. But he was running the ball, and he ran the ball like really good for those first 4 games. Yeah, and now you got to go with your backup quarterback for like 8 games, and that's not good because your backup quarterback's probably going to stink. So he's my number 2. I mean, I can't put this guy at number 17. And he doesn't deserve to be number 17. But Lamar Jackson is my number 3. Now, his biggest asset here is also the liability I do not like. I mean, 1,200 yards, which is what he ran for last year, is huge. That's 1,200 points. I mean, that's 120. I mean, I think he had 1,200. Either way, 120 points. He got you just with the rushing, not even adding in the touchdowns. So that's a lot of points that went into that. That's why he was the MVP last year. He also threw the ball over the place. A lot of big plays with his arm. Guys going over the top. Marquise Brown for one. So he did catch the league by surprise, kind of, because they built this offense around him. The coordinator, I forget his name. They built a whole offense just around this guy, and it worked out. 14-2, but in the playoffs, we all know what happened. So I do think, I mean, he's going to be a top quarterback, and he's probably going to be the second quarterback off the board in a lot of drafts. I still think Mahomes is still going to go first. I mean, you might get some guy who's got a hot nut for him. That's fine. But I do not see him. I see him as an injury risk with all those rushing. And not only that, they planned plays. They're designed running plays with him. Like, they're trying to run the ball with him. Too many hits. Don't want your quarterback getting hit. And then if something, God forbid, happens to him, the whole offense goes down to 2, because you're not going to replace him with who do they have behind him? RG3? Come on. RG3 hasn't had it in years. He had it for like 1 season, and then that was it. So the question marks with him is not the skill or the ability to throw or the weapons he has around him, because they want to run the ball here. The issue that drops him to number 3 here is way too many hits, way too many designed runs for him. If they want to run the ball, they have running backs to run the ball. They drafted another running back. I mean, they had the Justice guy they drafted last year. Now they got J.K. Dobbins. They got Ingram in free agency. They've got Jackson running the ball. They've got RG3. They've got the whole Heisman package there. They've got all kinds of things just to run the ball. Not to say that, I mean, shit, he could go out and do the same thing he did last year. I just don't think that's going to happen. And I don't like the design runs, because he's going to be a top pick for you. If he goes down, you got big problems unless you draft somebody who pops as your backup. And how many times does that usually happen? Not many. So that's why he's my number 3. I mean, he's still number 3. You call me whatever you want, but that's where we're going with this. Lamar Jackson, number 3 out of the top 20. The $8 zillion man. I mean, if you haven't heard yet, from what they're talking about, he turned down 6 years, $175 million, something like that. Nah, it's not enough. Okay. Not that Andy Dalton's going to get you where you want to go, but come on, guy. What are you thinking? This guy, have they won a playoff game yet? I think they won one playoff game with him around. And to be honest, I'm a Zeke fan because I love that speed. But he's like 1A in the offense, and maybe even B behind Zeke. I think this year they're going to build the offense around Zeke running the ball and catching the ball a little bit out of the backfield, and they're going to throw I understand they kept the coordinator, but and he was responsible for him throwing the most yards, leading the league in yardage last year. I don't think that's going to repeat itself. I think they're going to bring in that offense a little more, make it a little streamlined, focus on Zeke a little more, and I think they're going to win more games, a lot more games actually. I think they'll probably win at least win double digits now. Now they got a coach in there who knows how to win and how to set up an offense, and they've got all the pieces. So, but I don't think they're going to rely on him. I mean, I'm sure there are going to be games where they're going to rely on him because they fumble, return, they let up a big play, and then it's 21-0. Hey, how'd that happen? All right, now we got to throw the ball when they can't run it as much anymore. We'll throw it to Zeke instead of running it with him. But I don't think you're going to see. I mean, I think he's still going to have a good year. You got all those weapons. He's still going to have a good year. I still got him at number 4. Adding into the fact that he can run the ball as well. He can when the play breaks down, and I think you're going to see more of that this year. I think they're going to take that and add that into his repertoire. Say, hey, listen, shit breaks down, just go. Get the first down, and we'll move on to the next play. Not that he wasn't doing that before, but I think you're going to see a little more of that, a little more of the, fly by the seat of your pants and let it go with that. I still think he's going to throw for a lot of yards. The offense is still set up that way, but I think they're going to run the ball more so than they did before. They're going to set up the run. They're going to lean on the run. When they have to lean on the pass, they can, but I don't think that's going to be with the way the offense goes. I could be wrong, but I think with McCarthy in there, he's going to take care of what he needs to take care of and set up the offense a little differently than it was before. But like I said, he's going to get plenty of touchdowns, plenty of yards, and plenty of rushing yards. He's my number 4. He's my number 4 guy. Number 5. People were, I keep seeing him farther down the list, but I really like him this year. He's coming. There he is. Oh, Aaron Rodgers. I think last year it was getting used to an offense in the beginning. And then, as you saw, I think it was somewhere week 9 or 10, somewhere in the middle of the pack, it kind of clicked, and he had that 6 touchdown game, and then it was kind of off to the races. He started playing much better, getting more touchdowns and yards. I think that's going to carry over into this year. I especially think the first half of the year is going to be pretty big for him in terms of throwing the ball. Just bombs away with this guy. I think it's going to click here. He's my number 5 guy. I mean, you've seen it. It's not like he can't do it. And I know people are saying, well, he's got one guy to throw to. Okay, he's got one guy to throw to. He's got other guys. They just have to step up. And with the thing about good quarterbacks, and I'll get into this next with my next guy. I'll get into this. But the thing about good quarterbacks is good quarterbacks are good quarterbacks, and whoever they have around them, they're going to make better. Very rare. I mean, you don't see a lot of. I mean, you do see it. I mean, Randy Moss made Dante Culpepper. God knows how much money he made that guy. But as soon as Randy Moss went, like, hey, wait a minute, this guy stinks. Stuck around for a little while, played with Miami, and played with somebody else, I think, or something. But wasn't doing what he was doing with Randy Moss. 4,000 yards, 40 touchdowns, or whatever the hell he had. He was bombing it away. This guy makes the wide receivers better. Now, all he needs is somebody to step up. Is it going to be Valdez-Scantling? I don't know about that. Is it going to be Lazard? It's going to be somebody, I think. Somebody's got to step up and be this guy's number 2 guy, because there's no Jimmy Graham there to catch the ball. They did draft Gazura, or whatever his name is. You're going to count on a rookie tight end to be your second main guy. I mean, I think he's a big target. I think he's 6'3", 250 or something like that. But it's a big target. But I wouldn't put him that far on that low down the totem pole. He's not going to be what's his name? Who's the main guy over here? God, I'm losing my mind. I'm going crazy. That's living in this state. That don't help. Whoever the main guy is. There's got to be somebody else. And I think somebody's going to step up. And I don't mean step up as in, all right, 100 catches, 1,400 yards, 15 touchdowns. No. All you need is, 60 catches, 900 yards. Okay, that's pretty good. 7, 8 touchdowns, that's fine for a secondary receiver. And then everybody else can fill in the gaps. Because they got a lot of receivers over there. A lot of guys who are just there. You just need one to be able to be, okay, he's a capable guy. And I think they'll find out this year who it's going to be. I don't know who it's going to be yet. Maybe the preseason will tell us. But I think Aaron Rodgers is going to be the number 5. We're going with number 5 on Aaron Rodgers this year. Now, remember what I just said like 3 seconds ago. A good quarterback does not need a great receiver to have a great year. So I had Sean Watson's number 6. I know he lost Hopkins. And that sucks. He's even King Kong Bundy said it sucked. I talked to him about it like 2 days ago. I talked to him. Kamalo's indifferent. He was very droll. So I don't think you need a really good quarterback who can put the ball on the money, and he can. He's a pretty accurate guy. With the amount of targets that are lost are going to be eaten up. Everybody gets a little bit of an uptick in what they were getting last year, as long as they don't get hurt, which you got to worry about that with Fuller and Cooks and David Johnson to an extent. You've got guys who can catch the ball. You've got guys that you can put out there that can catch the ball. So as they run the routes, they should be able to catch the ball. So I don't see him dropping that much. On top of that, like I've said before, with the first 4 guys on the list, that's why they're so high on the list, because they can make plays with their legs, which is what he can do. He doesn't do it as often, but he can. I think that injury in his rookie year kind of, hey, wait a minute, maybe we shouldn't be doing that. We should be throwing the ball a little more. We only use this ability to escape and try not to get slammed when you run the ball all over the place. So I think he's still going to be back there slinging it, and he didn't start off great last year, but he had this season was just fine. The issue here is he going to be a guy who sticks to one guy, needs a number 1 guy? I mean, Tom Brady didn't need a number 1 guy. He threw the ball to whoever. I mean, early Tom Brady. If any of you remember early Tom Brady, the 2000s Tom Brady, he had? I don't even remember who he had. And I remember I was drafting guys. Oh, this guy looked kind of good last year in the playoffs, Tom Brady. None of them ever worked out until he got Randy Moss and then Gronk. Then he started going, oh, okay, I got this guy. I'll just start this guy. But before that, he was throwing it all over the place. He was still a top 5 quarterback, and he didn't run the ball. So you can do it without a main guy. The issue with Deshaun Watson, why he's so low, is because the wide receivers that he does have injuries. Not a good sign. Brandon Cooks, I've gone into detail about having him on my team last year. Was not a great experience, especially as high as I drafted him, which was a god-awful mistake. Shouldn't have done that. And drafted him in like 2 leagues. I've gone over this. I don't want to relitigate this. But him, Fuller, I don't care what you say, those 2 guys are 2 of the top 3 guys he's going to have there, no matter what position you put him in. 1-3, 1-2, 2-3. You're not going to make an argument that, they're down on the depth chart. Fuck you. They're like 1 and 2, really, if you really want to go into it. So that's a problem. Immediately, one of them gets hurt in preseason, he could drop a little bit, especially if one gets hurt. He's out. He's not coming back. Or if another guy, if like a Kenny Stills gets hurt. Like, wait, this guy was the guy he was the healthy guy, and now he's hurt. What the shit? Yeah, we only see bad things coming. So you gotta, this is the kind of guy you gotta start watching, making sure everybody's healthy and happy, and doing well. And then I'd feel pretty comfortable taking him at 6 in terms of my quarterbacks. I think you have plenty upside with him. I think he's still a good quarterback. I think he's still put it on the numbers, and you won't have too much of a problem with him. Number 7, Josh Allen. I gotta start going through this a little quicker. Josh Allen, number 7. Same kind of thing. You added a wide receiver in there. He needed somebody that a main guy. You have a main guy there now, Diggs. I'm not a huge Diggs guy, but he's a good receiver. I like Diggs. You also have John Brown as a speed guy. You have Cole Beasley as the guy to get to the sticks. You've got Josh Allen there with the running. He was a good quarterback last year, and now he just got better. So I like I like what they're doing over there. I like, and hasn't been hurt. He's been out there playing, and he played. He goes out there, and this is your shot. Like if this is his first big opportunity. No more Tom Brady. He's all the way down there. He went all the way down to Tampa Bay. This is your opportunity to take this division. You still got the Patriots you got to deal with, but this is your opportunity to at least be, I'm the best quarterback in this division at least. You think Stidham's going to come in and go nuts? I don't know, but I wouldn't go Stidham just yet. So this is opportunity. If he takes it, I like him at number 7 in terms of wide receiver, in terms of quarterbacks. He's got it all set up. He's even got an okay tight end setup. He's got Dawson Knox, who caught touchdowns. That's all he's there for. Another guy. All he does is catch touchdowns. So and he gets the yardage on the ground. Like I've been saying, that's extra yardage there. So we'll see, but I like him at number 7. Number 8 is a guy who people are going to say, why is he number 8? He should be number 3. And there he is, Kyler Murray. It was only a year ago. I'm not saying they're the same player, but a year ago, where's my freaking book? I showed it to you already. I can show it to you again. Baker Mayfield, number 5 quarterback, that's the guy. I don't care what you say. Okay. How'd that work out? All you guys took Baker Mayfield. And I'm not saying it's the same situation, but, Baker Mayfield got OBJ. Look at that. Oh, wow. Now they're going to go bonkers now. OBJ, Baker Mayfield. I'm going to get that combo in my league. Yeah, how'd that combo work out for you? So just because he got a number 1 guy, and he did get a number 1 guy, without injuries, which makes him even higher up on the standings than the OBJ trade that they got last year. I like Nuke way better than OBJ because he stays on the field 99% of the time and he doesn't get hurt. That doesn't translate to him being the number 3. That's the number I keep saying. Number 3 quarterback. No, I don't see it. So I'll take him at number 8. That's where I'll start looking at him. He's got, they do have guys that can catch the ball. They've got Nuke. They've got Larry Fitzgerald. Kenyon Drake can catch the ball. He can run the ball. All that good stuff. He's a second-year guy. Still learning. I got him. I'll start looking at him at number 8. That's it. Not much sooner. But a guy I am going to start looking at number 9, a top 10 quarterback right here. Yeah, this guy. I know what you're saying. That guy's 800 years old. What are you talking about? Crazy guy. Crazy talk man talking about this guy. Talk man talk. What is that? He's got all he's got is receivers. They're going to be throwing the ball all over the place. And I think, he didn't come down here to hand the ball off to nobody. He came down here because he wanted to throw the ball, and he knows that he knows what he's getting into with this guy. Bruce Arians wants to throw the ball all over the place. And this is the best quarterback Bruce Arians ever had. And Bruce Arians had some decent quarterbacks, including Peyton Manning and Andrew Luck. But this is the best one he's had so far, even at 42 years old, 43 years old. They've got 2 wide receivers. They've got a tight end. They're going to dump it off to the running back. He's going to throw the ball just fine. I like him at number 9. Tom Brady. He is one of my, I guess you can call him, is he really a sleeper? I don't know. But at number 9, I seen him at 12, 13. So we'll call him a sleeper if you want. Who cares? Top 10, Drew Brees. Great year last year. He did get hurt. If he didn't start getting hurt, and he got hurt a couple years ago, he missed a game. Last year, he missed a couple games. Not great. If he hadn't missed those games, he would probably be up a little bit, but age is a factor here. The only reason it's not a factor with Tom Brady is because the freaking guy never gets old. But this guy's still in the same offense. You got to like that. He's got Michael Thomas. He's got Emmanuel Sanders now. He's got Alvin Kamara. He's got plenty of guys. Jared Cook. Plenty of guys who can catch the football. He knows the offense. He's been in the same offense forever. If you want to switch him and Brady out 9 and 10, I think they're both top 10 guys. But I'm going to, you can't leave Brees out, especially after the year had last year. You can't leave Brees out of the top 10. So I'm going to go with Brees, top 10. Now, moving on. Number 11, Matt Ryan. I like the Todd Gurley pick. I think he needed a year to get himself back in the shape. He got hurt. I may be wrong, but I think he had surgery after that in the offseason after that Super Bowl or whatever, and he didn't. He played his first year. He still had a bunch of touchdowns. I think he still had double-digit touchdowns last year. He just wasn't putting up 25 touchdowns and 1,400 yards and catching the ball. He wasn't doing that. Which, honestly, is he going to come back and do that? Probably not. But I think he'll be okay. I think he'll get back. I think he can get back to being a 1,000-yard rusher. That's only 67 yards a game. To be a 1,000-yard rusher. And I think you can dump it off to him. I think he's a little bit of an upgrade over Devontae Freeman because Devontae Freeman, another guy who did get injured a lot. Not saying that, Todd Gurley's a picture of health, but I think he's had enough time to get over that injury. And I think he'll be back. I like the new place he's in. That's the biggest thing. The biggest attribute to Matt Ryan coming in, the biggest boost he gets. the upgrade from Devontae Freeman to Todd Gurley. Still got Ridley. Still got Julio. I like Hayden Hurst to take over for Hooper. I think it's just a cheaper Austin Hooper. I think you'll probably get the same kind of production out of him. Maybe not as much since he's just coming in for the first time. That leaves more opportunities for Ridley and Julio. Maybe some dump offs to Gurley. So I think he's going to have, I think he'll be just fine this year. I like Matt Ryan as my number 11. Dropping to number 12. Carson Wentz. Didn't like how he did last year. I didn't like the fact that, and I had him, so I watched him every week. I know what happened with him last year. He had an okay season, but okay is not what you're looking for. You're looking for good and great. You're not looking for okay. You're not looking at the middle through the season and end up with 5 wins. You're looking for him to win you games, which he didn't do. He had one good game. He had the good game at the beginning of the year. He found Deshaun Jackson. Deshaun Jackson got hurt. He didn't know what to do. They were throwing the ball all over the place. He didn't have receivers. He still got Zach Ertz. You're getting back at Deshaun Jackson. See if he still has the speed. That'll help. Alshon Jeffrey, still a big target. You can still throw him some stuff, but I don't think that Jalen Reagor, which is what everybody's betting on this year with him being number 7, number 8, where I've seen him in some of the preseason rankings so far. I don't think he's going to make a rookie wide receiver is going to make that big of a difference to Carson Wentz. I don't think he's going to help that much to bring him to where he was last year to where he's going to be top 5. I don't see that happening. Maybe there's going to be a transition from where he is to move up there in a year, next year maybe. But I don't see that happening this year. I don't think Reagor is the answer to bring him from where he was last year to top 5. I can see maybe top 10, back end of the top 10, but that's about it. On top of that, injury history, hasn't finished the season yet. Still waiting on that one. If that gets busted up early this year, week 2, he's out, then you're screwed. So as kind of he's not a sleeper. I wouldn't call him a bust. I'm calling them busts. But I will call them guys who you can wait on these guys or skip over them. There's just too many questions. He's one of them, definitely. But next at number 13 is a guy I would say has a chance to do something. Baker Mayfield. I think hopefully he figured it out. Haven't seen him doing all these commercials this year. Haven't seen him in every other commercial. Haven't seen that this year. Maybe now I say, okay, maybe we should hold the football a little more instead of having a boom guy, doing commercial with your girlfriend. I'm sure he made some nice money with that, but it didn't translate on the field. New coach in there who I like. All I've heard is good things about the coach over there, the guy from Minnesota. All I've heard is good things. In the Minnesota organization for like 50 years. And they never got rid of him. Even with all those changes at the coaching level, he was still constant there. That means, all right, we like this guy. Everywhere he goes, we like this guy. He knows what's up. So that's a positive. Moving over here can only help him. I see him as he could be a sleeper at number 13 with little Baker Mayfield. Teach him how to... he's still got a solid cast around him. A really solid cast around him. Nick Chubb. Kareem Hunt as the pass catcher out of the backfield. And Kareem Hunt's still young. OBJ on the outside. Jarvis Landry. The tight end position with Njoku, and that's a little shaky. I'm not a big Njoku fan. He had a couple of nice plays here and there. But I think they could use some help there, or at least make that a committee kind of thing. But I like where they're going. I think he can be one of those guys that that pops this year. At number 13, I like Baker Mayfield. 14, Philip Rivers. I know you're gonna say, what? He's got guys out there that can. Well, let's start from the top. He's got experience. You gotta like experience. He's been around for a while. He does make bad decisions. You know, with the amount of interceptions he throws. Not a big fan of that. But he's been around. Now you've got a coach there who was a quarterback. So, hey, when you see this, do this instead of doing that. You see, when you do that, you thought, oh, you don't see that? Yeah, you threw a pick there. We don't want that. Do this instead. Check it down or whatever. He's got guys. He's got plenty of guys to throw the ball to. There's not a lack of guys to throw the ball to. A couple of them are young. Paris Campbell, Michael Pittman, both young guys. T.Y. Hilton, on the other hand, not a young guy, all-pro guy, as long as he can stay healthy. That's important. Jack Doyle's still there. I always liked Jack Doyle because there was a guy at the bar whose name was Jack Doyle. And I'm like, all right, I just like that guy. And, you know, what's wrong with, who's got a problem with Jack Doyle? You know, you can have a beer with him and he'll get a touchdown for you. They'll get you like 8 yards. Come on, give me a break. Jack Doyle. You've got a decent running game, especially now that with who you drafted. Now, I understand Jonathan Taylor's more of the, pounded up the middle back. You're not going to get much in terms of dumping it off or him, doing any kind of angle routes or anything like that. You're definitely not splitting him out wide. But Hines can catch the ball a little bit. And, I think I smoked too much pot when I was a kid. Now I can't remember nothing. Nyheim Hines and the other guy who is it Nyheim Hines? Yeah, it is Nyheim Hines. Marlon Mack. I'm sorry. Marlon Mack can catch the ball a little. Nyheim Hines is the pass catching back. So you've got that. You've got a tight end. You've got an offense set up there, and a coach that can point Philip Rivers in the right direction, and who wants to throw the ball. He throws the ball so much that his running back even has good years. Like Marlon Mack had a pretty decent year last year, even though we're throwing the ball, and they didn't have anybody to throw the ball last year. So, what the hell's going on over there? The hell's going on out there? But I think this whole setup, I'll put him at number 14, which he does have the possibility to go higher because I do like guys who, they have experience and they go to new places. I like the new places, new faces, new places, all that bullshit. I do like that. He's got a shot here, and they got a good defense here. I think he thinks he can possibly go out there and do something. Definitely in this division. The division isn't as good as it was last year. I mean, you got Tennessee did well. Houston did well. But now these guys got a quarterback. I think they think I have a shot. And I think he thinks this is his last shot to do what he's got to do in this league. There's not much more, not much time left for him. He's fucking 50. So he's my number 14. Number 15, a guy who could pop this year. Kind of like him, kind of like what they did in the offseason. And I think they're looking for this guy to make some headway. Drew Lock. You got that second-year quarterback thing. Will Broncos QB return this year? Oh, this is from last year. I think you got Sutton out there. You brought in Judy. So you've got two guys. Not that I'm not big. Very rarely do you see wide receivers come out and just go nuts. You don't see that very often, especially rookies. I mean, people are still harping on the year with OBJ and Mike Evans and all that. That was 1 year. That was an aberration. You haven't seen too much of that since then. So you're looking at Sutton being the main guy and Judy being the secondary guy. You've got Noah Fant as a tight end. You've got the two running backs. They picked up Melvin Gordon, who's going to be the main running back. You've got Philip Lindsay probably catching out of the backfield a little more. They've also got what's his face behind him. I look at this team; they're set up on offense. All he has to do is go out there and do what the coach tells him, and hopefully the coach puts him in a position for him to make the right decisions. And if he does, there you go. This guy could be top 10, but I'll keep him at 15 with the chance to blow up possibly. But we'll see what happens. But I like him at 15 with all those offensive weapons around him. At number 16, we're looking at Kirk Cousins. He's a decent quarterback. He's got guys. I like Justin Jefferson. I really do like Justin Jefferson. Adam Thielen is solid. Dalvin Cook out of the backfield. Dalvin Cook had a great year last year, and he caught a ton of balls. You got the two-headed tight end out there. They drafted Irv Smith last year. He looked good. He's coming back. You've got plenty of guys in this offense that he can throw the ball to that can make his life easier. I understand. I think they're going to try and run the ball more than they did. As much at least as they did last year. That seemed to work out for them. They did well with the running of the ball. Dalvin Cook had an amazing year. Some bounces go a little better for them, and maybe they get a home playoff game and they can make some headway. You got to get past Green Bay first. You got to win your division. You got to beat Green Bay. Can they do that? I think they have the guys that can beat Green Bay. I think they have enough offense to beat Green Bay. I think their defense is good too. What could hold him back and keep him from being one of the top tier guys is the offense that are going to keep in place. This is going to be a running offense. It's always going to be a running offense as long as Mike Zimmer's there. He'll have some big games here and there because he kind of can't help it with all the guys around him. But he's going to be one of those hit or miss guys. I remember that year. What was it? Last year, the year before, he threw the ball 11 times. Was that last year? Ugh, 11 times. What? Say what? Yeah, 11 times he threw the ball. I think it was like week 1. So yeah, you don't like seeing that. You don't like seeing a guy in an offense that can do that, but he can have some big games. He did have some big games last year. When they need him to throw the ball, he'll throw the ball. So I like him at 16. 17. He will get drafted, I think, if he shows up on the screen. Eventually. Say what? All they're going to do is throw the ball at this guy. I think they're going to go out there and they're just going to throw the ball. They drafted a guy to go with them. They already had wide receivers. They drafted another wide receiver. You've got one of the top wide receivers. If he's healthy, even if he's not healthy, I'll take an 80% AJ Green over a lot of these lame wide receivers that are out there. You've got a running back. They've got an offense set up. If you can get the left tackle who came last year to be solid, keep him upright, this kid could be good. I really think this kid could be good. Now, granted, I got him at 17, so I'm not saying he's gonna be a world beater or even a main guy like who's the last rookie that actually came in and busted the place open. Cam Newton. That was fucking 10 years ago. So I'm not even saying that, but he can come in and really help out a team if needed, I think. Especially if you don't have issues with interceptions. You don't lose points for interceptions. This kid just has to throw the ball. I think it'll be fine. He can get you. I think in the way that this guy wants to run his offense, he wants to throw the ball, the tail of the coach. I think you have an opportunity with him to be, at 17, you're looking at a backup. Got to come in spot play for you just fine with the ability to maybe make a jump and be a solid starter. So Joe Burrow, number 17. 18, the Giants. We're going with Daniel Jones here. He he could make a big jump. I think he could be one of these guys, just like last year. And there's a couple guys on this list. Him, Locke, Murray, which I don't like everybody blowing Murray as much as they're doing it. I think Locke and Jones they've got just as much ability to throw the ball as Kyler Murray does. Don't have the legs Kyler Murray has, but they can throw the ball with him, I think. You don't see too much drop off there. I mean, Daniel Jones had multiple 4-touchdown games last year. Multiple 4-touchdown games as a rookie. So I kind of like Daniel Jones coming in. I think I'm just not. I mean, hopefully the tackle they drafted can come in and be, just as good of his tackle as they've had there in the last 10 years. I mean, they haven't had a good line there in God knows how long. So if he can come in and just be, acceptable, I think that's a huge upgrade. The DeAndre Baker thing, if they can move past that as a team, I think it'll be fine. If it doesn't cause a cancer in that whole locker room, I think Daniel Jones, I mean, he's got everything set up. He's got all pro running back behind him. As long as he doesn't get hurt, he has plenty of weapons. And he could even make a jump up to top 10. Number 19. Yep. We're gonna go with Jared Goff. I think he could be a bust this year, but we'll give him number 19. We'll give him number 19. I mean, the offense he's in is still pretty good. They got rid of Cooks because he couldn't stay on the field. They loved his speed, but he couldn't stay on the freaking field. So, you're gone. And now you concentrate on Woods and Kupp, which neither one of them blow you away, but the offense can make the way they scheme the offense could be will probably help them out a little bit. But he had some decent games last year. He just didn't have the touchdowns. He had a down year last year. I still think he's top 20, but I don't have a lot of faith in this guy. We'll give him top 20 because he did make a Super Bowl, and he did have a couple years there where he was throwing 4,000 yards. Is he a system guy? Is that what made him that? Gave him all those stats. Todd Gurley not being there, now you really got to step up. So we'll give him a shot. I mean, if you don't draft him, I don't blame you, but I'll give him number 19 with a possibility of being off the board if he doesn't shape up this year. And number 20. Yeah, that guy. Old Jimmy G at number 20. I like Deebo Samuel this year, and I think Brandon Ayuk is going to be a good addition. And they have George Kittle there. Yeah, they have Kittle there. The running backs can catch out of the backfield. The offense is set up for him to do well. Last year he did okay. He had some good games. He wasn't consistent. And they do run the ball a lot there, so I can see why he would be up and down. But I think he's going to be a little more consistent this year. Last year was his first full year playing in the Shanahan system. They've got a really good defense. They've got a good front four that can keep the other team off the board, which may hurt him in terms of, all right, we're just going to run the ball, drain the clock. But if they need him to throw the ball, they have guys they can throw to. And I like him as my number 20 on the list, Jimmy G. Any girls watching this, hands up. So, all right. That's it. That's my top 20. Let me know what you think. And it's preseason. We're going to get into that more stuff. But right now, we're going to get into my bookie. What? Excuse me. Boy, that came out. That just popped right up. My book is the best online sports gambling site around. Maybe next to Jazz Sports. We don't know yet. Jazz Sports does have the online esports. They have up-to-minute odds for college pro games. Not so much now, but they do have live racing from all around the country and all around the world. MyBookie is an online casino for you to play, including some of the most beautiful live dealers ever. I mean, just sit there and just go. Go to MyBookie and use the promo code 12ounce sports. That's 12 ounce. That's 12 OZ Sports deposit bonus up to $1,000. It's like having a casino right in your own home. Same thing. And since the casinos are closed, here you go. You're good to go. You won't be disappointed. Guarantee you that one. MyBookie is the place you want to be. Go and check out MyBookie. And don't forget to use the promo code 12OZ Sports. That's 12OZ Sports for a deposit bonus up to $1,000. MyBookie. Check them out. So we're going to get into a couple little sports stories that I saw. You got to see this, guys. You got to see it. Now, we were talking about this on 12-ounce sports. South Korea opened up with their baseball team, but they also opened up with their soccer team, which has reportedly apologized for filling their stands of their fanless stadium. Wait for it. With a bunch of sex. Why are they holding it? First off, why are they holding anything up? Number one. Number two. Why are there seats in between them? Why aren't they? I mean, you could have had so much fun with this, but instead they had to put them in jerseys and all that. But there you go. You got a little dark-haired one there with the red hair. Look, they put all different colored hair in there. You gotta love this. You gotta love it, folks. Look at this one. Having a little old lady. I bet she's not. I bet she doesn't have the body of a little old lady. This one. Or she can get a little. Ooh, wait. No, we can't get any closer. And they got these. They bought the sex dolls down here, and they bought they put the cardboard cutout guys. They should put a cardboard cutout guy with a dick in his hand. And they got another picture in here. Oof! Look at that! 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 I don't see, I don't see people in. Why are we doing this here? Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this in high school games? Look at that! Look at that! Look at that right there! Can you see that? Can you see that? Boy, these South Koreans, they know how to party. You lame the moose, sure know how to party. Look at that! I want whoever came up with this idea. You should have put more of them in there. Look at these bunch of sex dolls. I'll bet God these things must be. You know why they got face masks on? Because I'm not gonna get into it. Probably got their mouths are probably so dirty. Need to be bleached out. Oh no, we set this up very nice. So before I go, I got one more quick story. But like I say, you should check out. I'm all for all of our sponsors here, especially BiscottiGourmet.com. I'm a big fan of BiscottiGourmet.com. They offer a new take on an old Italian tradition, a soft baked mini biscotti in many delightful flavors. You got to check them out. Lemon's my favorite, but